the Arjikar rape and murder convict Sanjay Roy. These are the breaking inputs. We're getting in that the Central Bureau of Investigation is all set to appeal against the life imprisonment for the Arjikar rape and murder convict Sanjay Roy. The appeal is likely to be filed in High Court within 2 days. In fact, what we are also being told is that the CBI has taken its due legal advice and is now going ahead to demand for death sentence for Sanjay Roy. Let me quickly go across to Arunima. Arunima, share the details with us. Also, one wonders why was the CBI then opposing West Bengal government's own plea, which was demanding death sentence for Roy?
See, CBI is the agency which has probed this case, and therefore, legally speaking, it holds more legal heft if the probe agency goes in appeal, because that's what legally the protocol is. But because the crime has been committed in West Bengal, therefore the state government also, and it's also political in nature for the Mamata Banerjee government, so they also wanted to be heard in the High Court. They got the go-ahead from the Kolkata High Court, and now we are told the CBI could also file the appeal demanding death sentence for Sanjay Roy in the next 2 days. It's also very critical because the parents of the deceased, as well as her former colleagues and the general public in Kolkata, none of them are satisfied with the answer that the judicial verdict has got, that Sanjay Roy alone committed this crime. They're unhappy with CBI's probe as well. So the agency is also under pressure to show that it is doing the needful to ensure justice for the victims.
All right. Many thanks to you, Arunima, for bringing us all those inputs and putting that breaking input into perspective for us. I'm also joined in by Riju Dutta of the Trinamool Congress. Many thanks to you, Riju, for joining in. How do you respond to the CBI's latest move?
That is how it should be. The chairperson of All India Trinamool Congress and the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Ms. Mamata Banerjee, also clearly stated in her press conference that she was not satisfied with the verdict of the lower court. She also believes, like the entire people of Bengal believes, that it's a rarest of rare crime where a doctor in a government hospital during her duty was raped, brutally raped and murdered. It's a rarest of rare crime, and people like this should not be kept in prison and fed with taxpayers' money, and they should be hanged till death. And that is why CBI has announced today, but yesterday, the state government of West Bengal also has approached the High Court demanding the death penalty for this animal. As simple as that. And one more thing I want to add here, that this entire verdict and this entire media trial of this Abhaya case also shows us the desperate need for Aparajita bill. The Aparajita bill that was passed in the West Bengal Legislative Assembly, which was forwarded by the Bengal governor to the Honorable President of the country, is lying with the Honorable President for the last few months. If that bill would have been passed by the Honorable President, then today, for every woman in this country, the only punishment for rape and murder is capital punishment. And that is, I think, is fair. That is how every rapist and every murderer should be dealt with in this country.
But are you pacified now that they'll be approaching a higher court with this? Because it was only yesterday that the CBI said that it is not the state's responsibility, but the CBI, since they were the ones investigating the entire case, to now be appealing for a death sentence for Sanjay Roy.
I will not be pacified until and unless the High Court, the Supreme Court, pronounces Sanjay Roy guilty and gives him the death penalty. Because I personally believe any person who brutally rapes a woman and kills that woman, irrespective of their political affiliation, caste, creed or color, should not breathe a single ounce of air in this country anymore.
Riju, stay with me. I'm in fact also joined in by Priyanka Tibrewal of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Priyanka, you heard, I don't know if you heard what Riju is saying, but Riju is saying that the CBI should have made this move much earlier as far as appealing for a death sentence for Sanjay Roy is concerned.
Mr. Riju Dutta is not aware that that is not how the judiciary functions, or that is not how the police or the agencies or the CBI, they work. They investigate. Their work is to investigate and not to go and ask that, what the judiciary should do or decide that. Because they belong to a government where all the decisions, whether it is legislative or administrative, are taken by only one person in Bengal. That is the reason he is saying like that. See, we have seen that the TMC government is brilliant in doing nautanki. That is why they will now say that we know we want death penalty. If you actually wanted death penalty, then in the 8 days your police should not have done any short investigation. They should not have washed away the evidences. That is the reason the CBI took a long time to come to any conclusion, because their police and their people had already washed off all the evidences. But nevertheless, CBI will appeal for a death penalty, and that is what the entire country wants. This is an outrage.
right.
The entire country is waiting for this criminal who did such an heinous crime to be given the strictest punishment.
Riju, I want to bring you in. Ever since day one, you and I have also debated umpteen number of times about the delay that was caused in this entire investigation. And now you hear the voices coming in which are also accusing your government of not being able to do due justice, which is what botched up the investigation ever since it began.
Thank you. So please give me a little courtesy of time.
Sure.
I will answer it in 2 points. Point number 1, CBI was handed over this investigation after 96 hours. Normally, pan-India, CBI gets a case after 6 months or 1 year. And after getting a case handed over after 96 hours, if they cannot get the death penalty, then they should sell handkerchiefs outside railway stations. Point number 1. Point number 2, the judgment that was pronounced by the learned justice of the Shialda court, I request BJP leaders and spokespersons to please go through that 150-page justice. There is not a single mention of evidence tampering by the CBI, neither by the honorable judge in the 150-page judgment. And point number 3, in the last 3 months, in 3 cases of rape and murder in Bengal, namely Joynagar, Gurap and Farakka, under the investigation of Bengal police have got the death penalty for the perpetrators of the crime within 50 to 52 days. Why, after what Calcutta police did in 24 hours, after CBI investigating for 5 months, why CBI could not get the death penalty?
Yeah,
And one
right,
more
but
very
let Priyanka respond now.
Absolutely, he needs to listen to
Riju said what you had.
10 more seconds,
Like
10
he
more
said.
seconds, 10 more seconds,
Like-
10 more
No,
seconds.
I need to cut to a quick break. I need to cut to a quick
he
break.
said
Right,
like the
Priyanka.
matter was given to the CBI in 96 hours. Let me also tell him that we have not witnessed any state where police is surrounding the hospital. You have police people who are giving duty outside the hospital, and goons vandalize the scene of evidence, the scene of crime, which happened here, which means that the police, this government and the criminals were hand in gloves with each other. They allowed them to walk inside the hospital and destroy the crime scene. So this has also happened
CBI
here.
has
And
not
then they
mentioned
want
it.
and expect everything from CBI. Don't worry, CBI has come to the correct conclusion. That is why no wonder their netas and mantris are inside the jail custody. That is the reason the principal is inside jail custody. And the
He
kind
has
of
already
backing and
got
support
bail,
they
for
have
your
got
kind
is
information.
from the TMC government and no one else.
All right, I'll have to leave it at that. You're sincerely hoping that the CBI does manage to prove that this is very much rarest of the rare case, which is what the Sialda court judge in fact begged to defer. Many thanks to you, Priyanka and Riju.